side. I just wanted to talk to you all a little bit about a subject that I honestly know very little about. So make sure to check me on my biases about this controversial subject. So my question is ChatGPT a great, powerful technology or a greedy, pathetic tragedy? Maybe it's somewhere in the middle. ChatGPT, and I've been doing a little bit of research, stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer and has set many records onboarding over 100 million users, in the 60-day mark. So in today's speech, I'm going to give you my biased perspective, honestly, on the pros and cons of this protocol. So there's no doubt that AI adoption is on the rise. And in fact, to a recent study by Gartner, it estimates that by 2025, 75% of all business processes will be fully automated by AI. This means we are rapidly approaching a state of singularity, is what they call it, where AI will surpass the human capacities for intelligence. Kind of an interesting thing. And in my opinion, we are living in times of extremes. Never in recorded history have 8 billion people around the world seen such an exponential rate of change. And as you are seeing, we're having more and more access to technology, more access to information and stimulation, right? But it seems like people are becoming more distracted than ever before, myself included. So we must ask ourselves the deep questions. What do we want to get out of AI? And has this AI led us to become a happier society or not? So without any further ado, here are the 3 potential pros that I see to this. So ChatGPT is incredibly efficient when it comes to language processing, and it's capable of processing vast amounts of data in a short amount of time. It is very cost effective and efficient. It has the potential to greatly reduce employee workload while it takes over mundane tasks. This frees up time and can lead to more job satisfaction. And 3, this is similar, but ChatGPT could allow us to spend more time doing what we love. Instead of spending long, mundane hours on tasks that we don't enjoy, it would free us up to become more creative. And now let me give you my biased opinion. So ChatGPT, in my opinion, could lead to a declined ability for us to think rationally and honestly, because I speculate, and this is speculation, that the size of our neocortex is what separates us from the rest of the animal kingdom. In particular, there's a spot called the frontal lobe, which is very important for executive functioning, decision making. And so I speculate the more that we use this technology, the less we'll be able to use our prefrontal cortex and our neocortex. Number 2, it could lead to an over-reliance of technology. And I want you to think about this, even though it's a lot to think about this morning. Think about how there was a study in the year 2000 of London cab drivers. And what they found was the mean average size of the hippocampus was smaller in the average population in comparison to that of the London cab drivers. And this makes sense because the hippocampus is associated with spatial navigation and memory consolidation. So I want you to think about the overuse of Google Maps per se. I know it's not ChatGPT, but think about if you overuse Google Maps, you're not using your brain, or specifically your hippocampus. And that does lead to atrophy, believe it or not. And lastly, it doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to understand that we're becoming more uh, we're becoming more separated than ever before. We're losing our ability to focus, in my personal opinion. There's studies about the overuse of internet, this and that. I don't want to bore you, but anyway, ADHD is very misdiagnosed in this day and age, and that has a correlation due to the amount of time that we're spending on screens. Once again, I must admit that I have clear biases on the subject, so I would like to know everybody's opinion on this matter because I'm no expert. I'm just some random guy wearing an Arizona t-shirt, acting like he knows what he's talking about. But I personally choose humanity over this artificial insanity. I don't like controversial subjects, but it is what it is. Have a toasty morning, Toastmasters.
Okay. Thank you for me.
We are in the feast for technology today. After Brody's speech about ChatGPT, I'm also going to talk about artificial intelligence. And you can really tell that this subject is getting attractions nowadays when both of us chose the same topic to discuss without, talking first. And what is AI? I'm going to try to avoid all the technical details and try to put the subject in layman's terms and explain it to you with three key questions. What is AI? How does it work? And why do you need to care? So first of all, let me ask all the question. How many of you have used or interacted with AI before? Raise your hand if you think you did. I can still see on the screen. Cool, some of you did. So what is AI? At its core, AI refers to machines that perform tasks that normally require human intelligence, like recognizing speech, understanding images, playing a game of chess or Go, or making decisions. Some of the common examples around us that already use AI. For example, when you woke up this morning, you probably check your phones for messages, emails, or notifications. Well, guess what? AI was behind them. AI helped your phone to filter out spam emails and messages and push notifications and news you might be interested in. Some of you may have virtual assistant device at home, like Apple Siri or Amazon Alexa. AI was behind them to understand your voice requests and talk back to you. So how does AI work? At the heart of AI is a technology called machine learning to understand. It works very similar to how humans learn. Now, if you take a few seconds and think about how infant children learn to speak, they start by listening and observing the adults around them. And then gradually they start to recognize the patterns of voices and start to make connections to what they mean. They apply back their understanding through talking back to us. At the beginning, it's all nonsense. But with continuing feedback from parents and surroundings, they improve and slowly build up their understandings on the abstract concept of language. Machine learning is a similar process where they take in a large amount of data that we feed to them. They use algorithms trying to analyze data, and then they perform some tasks. With human feedbacks, they get better at understanding how random data are connected and in which way they should be used. That's essentially how a machine learns and can perform tasks better and better over time. Now, some of you might be wondering, oh, this all sounds very fascinating and high-tech stuff, but aren't those only Silicon Valley people need to care about? Why do I need to care? Well, the answer is simple. Unlike most of other technologies you use, AI has the potential to transform nearly every aspect of our lives. Aside from ChatGPT that Brody already discussed, I can also give you some other examples. In healthcare, AI is being used to analyze medical images data to give diagnosis, to predict disease outbreaks, and also make new medicines. In financial industry, AI is widely used to detect fraud, provide investment strategies, and predict market trends. Self-driving cars is a very, very popular field now where AI is being developed to navigate through busy traffic without you even touching the wheels. It is even used in some fields where traditionally thought require innovation or creativity, like making music, writing poems, new books, or draw paintings. These are just enhancing productivity and efficiency. Well, we say, why wait? Sounds exciting. Let's get onto it. Well, hold on for a second. All coins come with two sides. With great benefits, it also poses new challenges and risks that we all need to be aware of. And in education, AI can outperform humans in almost any task you can think of. Bar exam for lawyers, medical exam for doctors, SAT, GRE test for college admission, to just name a few. AI can easily get a score that beats 90% of people nowadays. So how do we prevent AI abuse in our education? On the ethical side, how can we ensure AI can benefit everyone equally? Or whether they will respect human rights and values at all? If those topics still sounds too big and too vague to you, I can give you some more related examples. Every day, we take our information through reading news or social media contents. These used to be written by real human beings, but nowadays, a large portion of those are actually generated from AI. How can we ensure the information we get is accurate and not being manipulated in one way or the other? AI also poses a serious challenge to a lot of people's jobs. In fact, job reduction and replacement by AI is already happening in many places around the world. These things will force everyone to be involved and think about how we're going to deal with it. There are more concerning topics, but it gets kind of scary, and I'll leave some to you to do research. To conclude, I hope this speech has provided some basic information into what is AI and why it matters. I also hope it can spark an interest and curiosity into learning more about the topic. Now, before I go, I have a confession to make. I cheated pretty badly for today's speech. The speech that I just gave you is a collaboration effort between me and ChatGPT. In fact, ChatGPT wrote 90% of the speech content through me just telling him what I want in plain English. Now, if you still remember in the beginning, I asked you the question whether you have interacted with AI before. Well, now you all have through just listening to this speech. The point I really want to make with this is following. Just like how any new technology has happened in history, they will take part of our lives, whether you like it or not. And they will happen in places where you don't anticipate. There will be no point trying to avoid it, or there's nothing to be afraid of either. Instead, let's embrace it, learn about it, and change it. Back to you, Toastmaster.
First of all, I want to say thank you for allowing me to speak at your club. It's been awesome. So my introduction was, I was an area director in 2015.
Are how we learn and how we grow. So let's get into that part of the program. We have two evaluators today to evaluate.
To Leo, thank you. Hello, Toastmasters. Brody. Just want to reiterate, make sure everyone's feeling toasty today. It is snowy out. That's why we're on Zoom today. So I just wanted to give some tips to you, Brody, and kind of highlight some things on your speech that I liked and probably everyone else could enjoy and some things to work on. AI is becoming so prevalent, and you highlighted a lot of the aspects with ChatGPT with that. You know, the prevalence of AI and ChatGPT, you brought about the positives, you know, highlighting, you know, having, you know, it's efficient language processing, it's cost efficient, job satisfaction. You brought about great points on how ChatGPT is affecting our world in a positive manner. And that's what we see right now. And you brought about those points very well. And then you brought about the negative side, maybe the unforeseen side, maybe the cons, the consequences that we were ChatGPT and AI would present itself. And, you know, decline the ability to think, you know, you brought that up, speculate less, overall reliance on technology, you know, social separation. You brought up some really good points about some possible cons that can come about with ChatGPT and on this subject. Your ability to articulate was very uncomplicated subject like this was very well done. The way you used your verbiage, the way you, in manufacturing, they call this technical writing, and your technical speech on it was very thorough. And the way you brought about using prefrontal cortex, biological terms and technological terms, kept us interested, kept me interested. I love it when people can get technical with how they speak about a topic like this. It gets my technical brain going. There are some things that I maybe thought you could work on a little bit when it came to engaging the audience a little bit further. Your vocal variety, when it comes to a topic like AI, when something is a little bit more unfamiliar, having a little bit more vocal variety and highlighting some certain aspects about ChatGPT to keep people interested would be highlighting, bringing up your voice a little bit on certain areas of, the cons, and some of the pros there. So that's maybe one thing I had to mention. And to engage them even further, I thought maybe giving an audience a more of an open-ended question saying, how would you utilize ChatGPT after talking about it today? Would it be something prevalent in your life, and would it be useful? And Brody, I think there was, ChatGPT is a complicated subject for everybody. And I think you did highlight did a very good job at highlighting everything for that. And appreciated your input, and great job on your speech today.
Right, well, thank you, Master Evaluator. Mr. Chen, I really, really was looking forward to hearing exactly how you were going to detail AI, especially with how it is in the news lately. There were some great things, and then there were some other things, and then there were some more things, and then there were some great things, and wow, it was really, really overall, thank you, because a lot of clarity. So in my comments, for general comments, clarity of your words and a great introduction really set up your speech. It helped me out and made me really excited to hear what you were going to speak on. You may want to work on slowing down a little bit. Your speech, the speed of your speech was very, very robotic. I don't know if that's a great word, but it was just boom, 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 boom. I'm not really a techie, but I do understand some of the technology verbiage. And for somebody who may not, I think you would have lost them in certain areas. And to challenge yourself, possibly an additional story, like the story that you use about the children learning, that kind of grasp, especially people who may not know anything about AI other than it's an acronym. I think that would help draw them in a little bit more in understanding. Next, about all the other cool stuff that we get to mark on. Again, your clarity of words, vocal variety wasn't a lot. I think maybe when you were asking the questions that, when people hear a question, they hear the tone go up. How many of that type of thing? And that would go along with maybe some hand gestures. I thought it was very great that you stood up. I've got a whole bunch of notes in here, and overall, what a wonderful topic to choose from. I can only imagine what it looked like on paper, because that was part of your evaluation, was writing a speech with purpose. And I think you successfully fulfilled all of those requirements. Can't wait to hear more, my friend. Awesome job. Congratulations.
Thank
Back
you very
to you, Master Evaluator.